There's gonna be a moment in House of the Dragon. I know this is random as fuck, but I'm pretty high right now. But there's gonna be a moment in several moments in House of the Dragon where there's going to be like super intense dialogue going on, and you don't know which character is going to kill the other one, or you don't know which character may have an armed troop of guards nearby, and everyone knows that these two characters are going to be dragon riders, and the dragon riders are going to be close but too far. It's almost going to be like owning a car in New York City or something. Like, why would you keep your dragon nearby when the amount of walking that you have to do is close? So there's, I imagine, a scene where two characters, maybe Daemon and Aemon, they have a showdown where their dragons aren't nearby, and the average show watcher won't know the way they die, so there's just gonna be some intensity. Alright, so continuing on, there's been a bunch of headphone warning, there's been a bunch of information released on House of the Dragon, and although this isn't going to be a very long video, I do plan on briefly discussing several different topics. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and begin. Now, real quick, special shout out to these individuals right here, as they are all members of my Patreon family over on patreon.com/YourHuntsReviews. And also, if you could please slap a like on this video, as a like goal is going to be 420. Weed. Also, make sure you're subscribed. And then, this is the most important part. Make sure you have your notifications turned all the way on, so that way you'll get an alert every single time I drop a video throughout this long night for the wait for House of the Dragon Season 1. Now, first things first. As you can see, HBO released a teaser at the very end of a promo teaser for Wonder Woman, which comes out Christmas Day. They're releasing it in theaters simultaneously as releasing it on HBO Max. Now, I saw a lot of people commenting in the Twitter thread. Speaking of which, make sure you go follow me at Sir_Hunts. That's linked down below in the description. And I've seen a few people say, well, I don't have a Twitter account, so Hunts. Well, then fucking make one and just go follow me. I update information that I get frequently, and I also like to shit post. But anyway, getting back on track here, a lot of people were commenting on that Twitter feed that, is this new footage? Is this a new dragon? Which dragon do you think this is? Well, that's from season 8. It was one of the later episodes, like episode 4, maybe episode 5. That's when Drogon appears and fucking burns Viserys' punk ass. And if you just think about it for a second, you would know that, judging by the timeline, Casey Bloys recently came out and said that filming will start in April, sometime around then. Well, my sources are telling me that they actually start next month in January with building the sets and making sure the scouting locations are going to be, for any of the scenes that are filmed outside, they're going to start doing all of that next month. So that means that they're finishing casting, they're going to start announcing everything public, and there's some casting information that I want to mention later in this video, but all of that sort of leads up to them like filming will be full on in April. So that means that with this show having way more dragons than the first series, post-production is going to take just as long as the later seasons of Game of Thrones. And I've seen someone post on Twitter saying that they think it'll be out exactly a year after they start filming, and that's just not true. The post-production is going to take longer than it took to film, especially with this first season. I think they're going to be doing a lot of up-close dialogue. The actors are going to most likely be featured heavily in the first couple episodes, and then we'll have the dragons come in later. We all know they're going to be around. I'm not saying they're not going to make appearances in the very first episode. I'm pretty sure the first scene is going to be Daemon arriving at the dragon pit, a fully reconstructed dragon pit, and they're going to sort of have his dragon, Caraxes, featured. I mean, his dragon is marvelous and gorgeous. It was known as the Bloodworm. And I've actually, done a breakdown video recently on Prince Daemon. That's linked down below in the description. You can go check that out. But I think this first season, with there being a lot of dragons towards the end of the season, we're going to have a super long post-production. So if I had to guess, I would say the premiere would be around July or August, similar to season 7 and season 8 of Game of Thrones. Now, I think, real quickly before I discuss that potential casting for Corlys Velaryon, I think this, at the end of the, that teaser for Wonder Woman, this is going to be the new logo going into House of the Dragon. This looks like a lot spikier version of the traditional House Targaryen logo. Speaking of which, it's the holiday season. I have a baby that will be here in 2 weeks. If he's not here by a certain date, we have to induce labor. But we are also moving into a brand new house. Because of this, I usually do a giveaway around Christmas time. I think most YouTubers try to do a giveaway around the holiday season to give back to everybody who watches their videos, but I can't really afford that. I do plan on giving away a calendar of Ice and Fire, maybe in February or March of next year after we get settled into the house, and you know, I get to spend some time with my son, which I'm super fucking excited about. But I'm gonna be giving away my depiction of the House Targaryen logo. All you have to do to enter that giveaway is slap a like on this video, leave a comment down below, and then make sure you're subscribed. Now, lastly, the Corlys Velaryon casting, the potential casting from Deadline.com. Now, Deadline is a pretty reputable fucking source. They're usually one of the first online magazines who breaks the information and really everything Hollywood related, but specifically HBO and Game of Thrones. The actor, I think that they have rumored to be playing him is Danny Sapani. This is obviously a black motherfucker. And House Velaryon is traditionally white. They're Valyrian. They're pale skin, blue eyes. Well, on the TV show, purple eyes in the books. You know, they're white people. They're super pale white people, and they ride dragons and shit. And House Velaryon is directly related to House Targaryen in A Song of Ice and Fire. So the way that Corlys Velaryon is described isn't necessarily particular, but we do know that he has pale skin and purple eyes. Now, I'm not about to go down the purple eye rabbit hole in this, but I think I would like to see it on screen. I would like to have it look good and believable on screen. There were certain moments in The Witcher where Yennefer, her eyes looked perfect, and then other times where it looked like she was wearing contacts, and it really took me out of the scene. But it's if they do it right, I'm down for it, but I think canonically they'll have to make them whatever the actor's color's eyes are, because Emilia Clarke and Harry Lloyd and, you know, every other Targaryen we've seen in the Game of Thrones series has not purple eyes. But I've gone down the rabbit hole, and I've actually explained before why I think you shouldn't necessarily blackwash a white character, and you shouldn't do the other way around. You shouldn't make a black character white, and you shouldn't make a white character black. You should make either a character that has a minor role and doesn't actually have a description available to them, or, you know, they've just played such a minor role, and then give them a bigger role and maybe expand it by infusing their role with another prominent character's role. So instead of having Corlys Velaryon and House Velaryon, I know it would fuck things up, but maybe just have a prominent house from the Southern Islanders. And I don't know how they're going to do it, but I will say this, keeping it short. I trust HBO, I trust George R. Martin, and more importantly, I trust Ryan Condal, who's doing the casting for this series. I don't know if Nina Gold will do some of the casting in the later series, or if she's giving her support to Ryan Condal, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to handle it correctly. And with how successful Game of Thrones was, I have no fucking doubt in my mind the shit will look epic, whoever they decide to cast in whichever role. I mean, let's be real, when I want a super escape, I'll pick up one of the A Song of Ice and Fire books. When I'm watching the TV show, I mainly just want dragons and more importantly, giant titties! Alright, I've got Cottonmouth, so I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you could please do me a massive favor and slap a like on this video, as a like is gonna be 420. Get it? He said a weed joke. Also, and this is the most important part, make sure you're subscribed and have your notifications turned all the way on, so that way you'll get an alert every single time I drop a video throughout this long night, or the wait for House of the Dragon Season 1. I want to thank you all again so much for watching. My name is Mark, and this has been Sir Hunts. Shout out again to my Patreons. Reviews.